A few days ago, I went and did something which I've never done before and could potentially really help my golf game. I got fitted for a 3-wood. And you see, I don't know why I've never really done this before, because a 3-wood is a club that could be a really important part of your golf bag, of any golf bag. Because if you can hit fairways, if you can hit greens from the fairway, and if you can have a little bit more confidence to just stand up and hit a golf shot, then potentially the 3-wood could become your best friend and the best club in your bag. Introducing the PXG Black Ops 03113 3-wood. This is going to be a very interesting video. Oh, that sound, that feel. Let me explain a little bit more. Let me explain in just a little bit more detail. And you see, what I love the best about this PXG Black Ops 3-wood is its ease of launch, how it feels, how it sounds, and of course the versatility that it does offer. We're going to talk numbers in just a moment in this video, but for me, I always think if something's easy to launch, then it can be quite versatile, because if you have the skill set to be able to play a low shot, a high shot, or draw a fade, you can always do that with a club that's fairly easy to launch. Looking at the shape of this head, it actually looks quite big, and when I first got my eyes on this, when I got fitted for it, I didn't quite like it. I thought, oh, that looks a little bit big, a little bit cumbersome. But then you put it down at the ball, you look at that carbon top, which you don't see many of in fairway woods, it actually looks quite sleek. To say it has that big square face design as well, I think all in all, it ties in hand to be a nice, forgiving, yet versatile 3-wood. So let's hit a couple off this 18th hole at Falcons Fire into the wind. So ideally here, we're going to have 3 balls where the front to back dispersion is pretty similar, and hopefully we're going to hit this fairway a handful of times as well. I absolutely love that white ring around the head of this driver. It looks phenomenal. It really shows you what surface area you have to deal with. And this KBS shaft that I got fitted for really helps hit that kind of shot. A really nice low penetrating knuckleball shot. That's the perfect tee shot for this hole. I personally think this will get overlooked this year because not many people are on the PXG hype wagon yet, but when you do so, I think a lot of people will really enjoy it. Looking at the weights in the bottom of this head, it really looks like that MOI is evenly distributed, so it is designed for that kind of maximum forgiveness level, even though, like I keep saying, you can play different kinds of shots with it. When we tested this for numbers, I was really impressed by when you do get it out the screws, it can produce some pretty insane ball speeds and some really, really powerful ball flights. That's a really, really nice, that's not moved in the air whatsoever, and they're bang next to each other for the first 2 shots off this 18th hole. Now, if I wanted to play a little bit more of a nice high shot, I'll tee this a little bit higher. Because it has that square face, it's a little bit more elongated toe to heel, which isn't a bad thing, but then it's a little bit shallower. So you need to make sure you don't get this out of the top of the club. I'm going to go ahead and say it. This is the best looking 3-wood I've tested this year, and I've tested the Callaway, I've tested the TaylorMade, I've tested obviously the Ping from last year. Can we hit that nice high riser? Yes, we can. That felt phenomenal. It's turning a little bit on the wind. That might miss the fairway just. Let's get down there and see where they've finished, because for me, that's 3 shots of exactly what I wanted to show you in this review. Versatile, forgiving, and listen to that sound. I'd also like to give a bit of a nod to the head covers as well, because the head cover for the 3-wood and the hybrid are really, really nice as well. I know it's a little thing, but little things add up to big things. And for me, consistency is certainly the name of the game when it comes to a 3-wood, for off the tee and also for off the fairway. You can see here that the first 2 shots that we hit were insanely consistent. They're bang next to each other in this fairway, and they've gone exactly the same distance. The third shot that we hit that was a little bit higher, I actually felt like a better swing, it felt like a better strike, and that was going a little bit left, a little bit further up. It's still in play, but it's not in the fairway. So it goes to show that this 3-wood can be a bit of a powerhouse if you get it right. For me, I can tee this up higher, I can hit it a little bit more like a driver, and I can get it out there at around 250, 260 yards. Now, it's all good and well saying a 3-wood is a great club for off the tee, but what about this position here? 260 yards out from the fairway into a long par 5. I actually think this 3-wood is quite an interesting proposition from the fairway because I like a small headed 3-wood for off the fairway. I feel like I can just kind of pick it off a little bit more, maybe hit down on it a touch and get a really nice spin rate and a low bullet ball flight. However, this is a slightly bigger head, as we have mentioned in this video. That carbon crown and sole weighting really does help shift the MOI to allow this to be easy to launch, even from potentially not great lies like we have here. So 260 yards, that's a huge 3-wood for me. I'll admit we're slightly downwind, but I wanted to see if we could get there and really try and turn this on. It's going to have to be a fantastic strike and take a bit of a kick and a bounce up there. Go on, just run a little bit. That's landed short, looks like it's running up to the front edge of the green, so running up to around 250 yards. I actually drove a green, funnily enough, with this club just yesterday. We're playing at Providence Golf Club out here in Orlando. I teed that really low and played a really nice high fade from the tee. That was a 260 yard par 4 over water. I don't know, a little bit of a brag, but it felt phenomenal. It worked for me. Let's see if we can try. I don't think that's on the green. I've got 2 more goes to try and get on the green with this bad boy. Slight downslope here as well, not an easy shot at all. There we go. Oh, it's fading a bit though. That's a shame because that was really well struck. I think that's almost flag high. It's just faded off into that bunker, unfortunately. We have 1 more go off this fairway. We are trying to bite off quite a lot. I'll get the mud off that ball as well because that doesn't help. But I think that's what this club is all about. How much do you dare go for? Come on. Oh, that's the one. Little low fadey one up there, pitch at 250. Keep going, keep going. Oh, that's just front edge as well. Guys, let's jump in the studio. Let's see just what numbers we did get with this PXG Black Ops 3-wood. I think this could be a contender if you're looking for a new 3-wood potentially for tee shots and fairway shots like this. Let's get inside and see how it performs. And the really interesting thing which I have touched on is as soon as I saw this head, I didn't quite like it. I thought it was a little bit big, a little bit cumbersome, but then you put it down at the ball and it almost shrinks around the ball. It looks delightful down at the ball. What kind of numbers can we get with this fitted 3-wood? Straight away that felt like a toey strike. It wasn't the best strike that I've ever hit. Ball speed's down a little bit, but we've still managed 213, a very similar number that I was getting when I hit the hybrid nice. Can we? I think we can get more than this. 223 total that time, but the spin was really, really high. There we go. There we go. There's the shot. Lovely high peeling fade in the middle of that fairway. Go on. 250 yards. Yes, please. Ooh, nice shot. They're the shots. Peeling back, 246 carry, 260 total. Yes, please. Okay, now where I wanted to test this PXG 0311 Black Ops 3-wood is somewhere where I feel like it may struggle. For me, out of the rough, I worry that this head is a little bit too big and not sleek enough to power through that rough. So we're going to have a go here out of the left-hand rough. And as you can see, this is quite juicy. It's sat down a touch and there's no way we're going to get a really powerful high ball flight out of here. You can see that's come out a little bit of a knuckleball. It's come out a little bit lower. I struck it out the middle actually. You can see the strike. That's just gone in the right-hand bunker. The strike was actually really good, so I'll take that all day. You can see it just central, a little bit high out the face. Lots of grass on that face after that attempt, but no real sole technology here as well. We've got a tiny little bit of kind of relief at the back, but if you look at some of the best fairway woods from the rough, they do have a little bit more kind of sole interaction than just that little bit at the back. Right, another one sat down. The big thing that I do like about this is how it feels and sounds from pretty much all lies. Look at that, that is all over it. All over it, be good. Sit. That's gone long. That's gone long from 250 yards in the rough. Wow. And you see, a really interesting thing for me was getting fitted for the Black Ops driver and of course the Black Ops fairway wood, because so many people would just kind of randomly throw in the same shaft into the 3-wood as the driver. But we spent a bit more time on it and actually discussed why we're going to have the KBS shaft in that 3-wood. I launched it a little bit better, the spin rate was better, and actually I felt like I was hitting it a little bit better. The dispersion left to right was more consistent, and that's huge because if you're going to hit your 3-wood, you're hitting it generally to play safe or be aggressive off the fairway or out the rough. So if you're trying to play safe off the tee, you certainly want that consistency in left to right dispersion, because that means you're going to hit the fairway more often when you're playing safe. You're not going to feel as stupid and you might lower your scores. All in all, quite a wise decision.